There's something about theaters, the red velvet, the hushed whispers before a performance, the lingering echoes of applause long after the curtain has fallen. But what if the show never truly ends? What if some spirits are still performing, waiting, haunting? Welcome to Springfield, Missouri, home to the historic Landers Theater, and perhaps something much darker. The Landers Theater stands proudly on East Walnut Street. Built in 1909, it's one of the oldest and most beautiful theaters in Missouri, adorned in Baroque Revival architecture with carved cherubs, elegant balconies, and a history as rich as the plays it once hosted. But behind that elegance lies tragedy. It began, as most hauntings do, with fire. In 1920, a fire broke out in the fly loft area of the Landers Theater, likely caused by faulty lighting. Flames raced across the wooden beams, and though the audience made it out safely, there were whispers that a stagehand didn't. Local legend claims he was trapped behind the curtain, burned alive. Official records don't name him. Some say his death was quietly forgotten. Others say he never left. Stage crew have reported hearing footsteps when no one else is around, screams echoing in the wings, and a shadowy figure lurking just out of sight. Time passed. The theater was repaired and reopened, but something stayed. Actors began experiencing the strange and inexplicable, cold breezes during warm rehearsals, lights flickering without cause, and the sense of unseen eyes tracking every move. One place stood out more than others: the balcony. Cast members often look up during rehearsals and spot a silhouette seated quietly. When they blink, it's gone, but the sense of being watched remains. One actress claimed she felt a cold hand rest on her shoulder mid-scene. She turned. No one there. She left the show the next day and never returned. Beneath the stage, in the basement dressing rooms, is where the truly chilling stories emerge. They speak of a man, pale, hollow-eyed, one side of his face badly scarred. They call him the man in the mirror. Performers say he appears behind them in the mirror while they apply makeup, always watching, never moving. One actor smashed a mirror with a hammer after claiming the man was trying to come through. No explanation was given. None needed. Was this the spirit of the burned stagehand, or something far older? Ghosts don't always come in terrifying forms. Sometimes the most innocent apparitions are the most unsettling. During a matinee in the 1970s, an usher spotted a young boy wandering the aisle, dressed in old-fashioned clothing. Alone, she approached him, but before she could speak, he vanished into thin air. Since then, patrons and staff have reported giggles in empty halls, small footsteps, the occasional childish voice calling out, "Mama." No missing child has ever been found, no explanation ever given. Actors live for an audience. But at the Landers Theater, the crowd may not always be alive. Several performers report hearing applause from an empty house. One actor swears he delivered a monologue late at night and was met with a full round of clapping, though the seats were bare. Security footage that night showed no movement in or out. Another crew member performing a lighting test late one evening saw shadows in the front row. When he blinked, they were gone. But the theater was charged with electricity, a lingering presence, as if the ghosts themselves refused to leave the spotlight. So where do these stories come from? Some are tied directly to documented history, like the 1920 fire, confirmed by city archives. Though only one death is suspected, it was never officially recorded, making it perfect fuel for urban legend. Others come from first-hand accounts passed through generations of performers, stagehands, and staff. Even skeptics admit the stories don't go away. From the ghostly man in mirrors, to the phantom child, to the unseen audience, every spirit adds a new act to the legend of Landers Theater. Paranormal investigators claim the building might be a hub for residual energy, a place saturated with emotional intensity from a century of performance, a place where tragedy, passion, and creativity have etched themselves into the very walls. And some say that in places like these, the line between stage and spirit is thin, very thin. Despite its haunted reputation, the Landers Theater is alive with life and art. It's the proud home of the Springfield Little Theater Company and still hosts productions every year. But not everyone comes for the plays. Some come to feel the cold spots, to glimpse the shadows, to stare into the mirror and wonder who's staring back. If you ever visit, be careful where you sit. Watch your reflection closely, and don't stay too long after dark, because the Landers Theater is more than just a stage. It's a story that never ends. And when the curtain falls, it may not be the end of the story. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this tale of the haunted Landers Theater, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more spine-tingling urban legends from the shadows of America. Until next time, stay in the light